Hello everybody, it's me, Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman.
They call him the Bookman, his rants never end. He's angry and he's loud and he has a lot of friends. If you have Alyssa Milano's number, you can always send it to Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman.
That song don't make no sense.
Hello everybody, it's me, Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman. Since the 1960s, Marvel has been publishing comic books about evolving superhumans battling over the serenity of the planet called X-Men. Then in 1974, they gave us a feisty little, virtually indestructible, hard-nosed hero with a heart named Wolverine. Among many of his engaging characteristics, one was his inability to remember his past. Then in 2001 and 2002, they published Origins, the true story of Wolverine, and told us what really happened and how far back his history goes. Then in 2009, Hollywood put its own spin on this origin story and called it X-Men Origins Wolverine. How would it match up to the comic book? Well, let's take a look at it together, shall we? Our movie opens with a sickly little James and his stepbrother Victor Creed watching over him. No. James then finds his father slain by Victor Creed's father. He then notices he has bone claws and uses them to dispatch Victor Creed's dad. Then Victor Creed's dad reveals,
He wasn't your father. Son.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
Victor Creed tries to protect his little brother and they run off together and fight in virtually every single American war to date. Hey, did you guys happen to run into Lieutenant Dan's lineage all that time?
Somebody in his family had fought and died in every single American war.
Victor and James pay the price for Victor losing his marbles, but it doesn't kill them. And that's when they meet Lieutenant Stryker, who says he has a plan for people with special abilities like them. We then see James and Victor Creed flying in a plane with Wade Wilson, who will soon be Deadpool, a fit Blob, the dude from Three Rivers, Mary from Lord of the Rings, and will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Welcome, my lord, to Isengard.
They use their distinct abilities to penetrate the outer defenses of this building. Then we get the funniest part of this film.
Great. Stuck in an elevator with 5 guys on a high-protein diet.
Oh, wait.
Dreams really do come true.
So just shut it. You're up next.
Thank you, sir. You look really nice today. It's the green. Brings out the seriousness in your eyes.
Oh, my God. You ever shut up, pal?
No, not when I'm awake.
Apparently all this was for William Stryker to get this special metal called adamantium. They locate the source to this village where William orders his men to wipe out the entire area. This makes James, who they call for no reason Logan now, upset and he walks away and finds refuge in the mountains of Canada along with a lovely young lass that he lives with. Answer it! Yes, I would! As he lumberjacks,
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
we find Mary is now utilizing his skills as a carny, until he meets up with Victor Creed, who then kills him. William Stryker meets up with Logan to tell him about this and says he needs his help again, but Logan refuses. Getting cozy with his lady friend, she then tells him a story since she is a teacher after all.
Trickster.
Wow. Cuckoo got screwed.
Kue Kuatsu. means the Wolverine.
Stop. Afterwards, she sees Victor, who apparently kills her, and that flips out Logan to the point where he wants some revenge. He finds Victor at a bar, and the two of them have a battle, but it seems as though Logan is no match for Victor at all. He needs some enhancements. At the hospital, Logan meets up with Stryker and says he'll do whatever it takes to get his revenge. No. So Stryker sets up Logan to make him into Weapon X.
Wolverine.
Please stop. And after grafting the adamantium to his skeleton, Logan freaks out and escapes into this barn where these good people take him in. However, he's having trouble adjusting to his new clothes. Even so, they welcome him as one of their own, until Agent Zero blasts them all away. Logan then tries to escape, and we have this intense battle between him and machinery. Eventually, he takes down the helicopter Agent Zero's in and speaks to William Stryker.
You wanted the animal, Colonel. You got it.
Go home! Go home!
After introducing one of the major plot holes of this movie, please, don't do it. We cut to a high school that has Scott Summers as a student. No. He was already in Professor Xavier's university by now. Wolverine meets up with John Wraith to talk about tracking Victor down again, and he tells Wolverine that only the Blob knows exactly where Victor is, or at least the means to find him. So as they fight for information, Victor is meeting up with Scott. And wouldn't you know it, Cyclops, being the major pussy they turned him into in these movies, gets dispatched of pretty quickly.
Isn't that cute? But that's wrong!
But before Victor Creed can kill him, William Stryker insists he spare him. The Blob tells Wolverine who to speak to about tracking down William Stryker on this special island he's doing these experiments on. That happens to be Remy LeBeau. Hey Gambit! It's so wonderful to finally see you in one of these movies! As Wolverine's speaking to him, Victor Creed is killing John Wraith. Wolverine and Gambit have their own little battle, but afterwards, Wolverine finds Victor Creed and they begin to fight. Wolverine has him at his mercy, but Gambit has to show off his powers to everybody else. After calling a truce, Wolverine asks Gambit to help him onto this special island, where William Stryker is executing Weapon XI. We comic book fans know that as Deadpool. Wolverine lands on this island and meets up with William Stryker himself. But instead of gaining vengeance, he finds out there's nothing to avenge since his lady friend is actually alive. Turns out she was an agent of William Stryker's that was there to piss off Wolverine enough to come back and fight for him again. They go through how they went about this whole scheme, and Victor Creed comes back. They fight, Wolverine beats him, but won't kill him despite having him at his mercy. Instead, he focuses on saving the other mutants in this building. So that means Wolverine and Cyclops met without actually meeting. After rescuing all these mutants, including Silver Fox's sister Emma Frost, they run into Deadpool. How can he be the merc with a mouth if he doesn't have a mouth? The mutants try to escape the shooting while Wolverine is trying to keep from Deadpool killing him. Victor Creed comes to his aid as they fight off the transporting and... No, he doesn't have I-beams. He doesn't have I-beams. Take it back! Take it back!
Take it back!
In the end, Wolverine decapitates Deadpool.
His head fell off.
His I-beams that don't exist take down the tower, and Victor Creed and Wolverine see each other off. Wolverine sees a dying Silver Fox on the ground. He tries to take her to safety until Stryker has him in his sights. He then blasts a couple of holes in him with adamantium bullets, and Wolverine appears to be dead.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
Stryker is about to kill Silver Fox, but she uses the power she doesn't have to make him simply drop the gun and walk away. Professor X then lands on the island and takes in all the mutants, while Wolverine is recovering from the massive shots he just received. And now he can't remember. After the cast of characters, there were a couple different endings, one being Wolverine taking a drink trying to remember, and Deadpool telling himself to be quiet. And that's pretty much it. So what did I think of this movie? I was extremely disappointed. It seems as though the producers took every origin story in the X-Men universe and threw it all together in a giant salad bowl and called it Wolverine's Origins. Victor Creed and him were never related in any form. The reason why he lost his memory was because his brain healed itself. It had nothing to do with adamantium bullets being shot in his head. And by the way, if adamantium is the only thing that can destroy adamantium, and a .45 Magnum is a .45 Magnum, wouldn't the adamantium bullets at point-blank range just penetrate that adamantium skull grafting and then go through his actual skull and penetrate his brain and probably kill him? Especially 2 shots? This is a Magnum 45. It turns heads into cantaloupes. That was the biggest, most disappointing plot hole in the entire story. Aside from the fact that Victor Creed and him were so close, meanwhile, in the future, in the first X-Men movie, they didn't even know each other. It's one thing for Wolverine not to remember Sabretooth, but if Sabretooth couldn't remember Wolverine, then how the hell they have this long, illustrious history with each other? They didn't meet till Weapon X, and although they got that group together pretty cleverly, well, not everybody, but most of them, it still didn't make any sense that they don't know each other in the future. You didn't get into his cage fighting career, you didn't get into him being feral, you didn't get to him running out in the forest, you didn't get to any of that stuff. And not only that, he was always from Canada, he was never from New York, and he was in Japan during World War II. He didn't just show up there for no reason. And on top of all that, you put Scott Summers in here when he had nothing to do with Wolverine's origins. He practically grew up in Xavier's University, and you turned him into a pansy again. He got captured again. He didn't do anything to anybody. What the hell was the point of him? It was nice to see Gambit for 5 minutes, but Jesus, where has he been this whole time? There were 3 movies you could have put him in before this one. Why did he show up now? He had nothing to do with Wolverine's origins either. Overall, being a Wolverine fan for over 20 years, I was extremely angered by how badly they missed the mark on his origins. They should have just called it Weapon X Origins, considering those are the only origins they had portrayed properly. But if you want to see a bunch of superhumans blow shit up, this is the movie for you. Thank you all for watching. I have more for you soon to come. So stay tuned, take care, and have a great day.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!